Hi folks, this is my new acquisition. It's an Epiphone Slash model made between Slash and Epiphone. It's his Epiphone signature and it's supposed to replicate one of the guitars he was using during the Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction era where a lot of their hits came out. So it's supposed to look like one of those guitars and sound like it. I just wanted to say from the start that I have got the flu right now. I'm a 56-year-old man anyway. You tend to have shortage of breath when you get older. Also, I've got asthma, and on top of those two things, I've also got the flu. So if I lose my voice, so it sounds like I'm finding it hard to breathe, that's the reason why. Just also want to point out I'm using a Samsung mobile, and even though it's a good mobile I have, it's not actually great for making YouTube videos. It's not a dedicated camera, so if you bear that in mind, we'll crack on. Right, this is the headstock on the guitar. Looks like your normal Epiphone standard, and this is a truss rod cover with the slash signature on it. It is a print. He didn't come round to my house and actually do it for me, so unfortunately that didn't happen. That's a rumour. Underneath that is a graphite nut, so that's a good appointment to have. And at the top here, left and right, we've got the Epiphone tuners, the deluxe tuners. These are also on my 59 Les Paul, which is the Epiphone as well. I've got two Epiphones. These hold tune really well, and they hold tune this guitar. Even though I've only played this guitar for an hour and a half, they've held tune. I've played the other guitar a lot more, the Epiphone 59. And it always kind of holds tunes, so these tuners don't need replaced, if you ask me. They're pretty good. This is the fretboard we're on now. This is an Indian Laurel. It's pretty dark, so it kind of looks like rosewood, and Indian Laurel is kind of similar to rosewood anyway. So I would prefer it to be rosewood, but you know, I can't have everything. It's an Epiphone after all. And it looks good as dark, and it does the job. And it's also got these those are called parallelograms on the fretboard, the fret markers. I don't know what they're called. NASA's doing a close-up. Yep, let's have a close-up of them. Let's see if we can focus this camera. So that's perloid. If we go down the sides, the binding, it's got binding on neck and body. The binding is cream, which I prefer to white. So go down the body, we'll look at the binding on the actual body now. That is the strap, where you put your strap. There is strap locks come with this guitar, which is in the case right now. So that's the front of the guitar. You can see it's a honeycomb lemon drop, honey lemony droppy kind of guitar body. Nice colour. There's a kind of close up of certain things. There's the binding on the actual guitar as well, all in cream around the body. As I say, the colours like a honey drop, lemon drop, honey burst, lemon burst, you know, that kind of thing. I haven't got this colour in any other guitar. Also the pickups are zebra pickups, which I've not got either. So it's one of the kind of two of the things I want to get this guitar for, apart from the fact slash. We've got the usual Tone Pro bridge and tailpiece thing. Pretty good. You find Tone Pros in lots of guitars, never mind Epiphone. So they're decent quality, not the same as Gibson, but they do the job. You know, maybe a bit lighter if you weigh them. People have weighed them before saying they're a bit lighter than Gibsons, but who cares? Certainly better than what the Epiphone used to have. This is the kind of top hat gold knobs with the little pointers, metal pointers, to show you exactly where you are on your volume and tone knobs. So I really like these. Then at the top here, top left, we've got a three-way switch. It's the treble and rhythm are in kind of gold print, so that's kind of cool. This is Epiphone brand, so it's not your Switchcraft that you would normally find on a Gibson. It's something that should have been Switchcraft switch and a Switchcraft jack on this guitar, in my opinion, for the price when it came out. I got it a lot cheaper, but the price it came out, it should have had Switchcraft. Like I say, switch and jack, but it didn't, so that was a kind of downside. The pickups as well should have been Gibson pickups, but they're not. They're Epiphone custom Pro Buckers, so they're good pickups in my opinion. I've played this guitar for an hour and a half. Some reviews on these pickups are kind of negative, but it's kind of 50-50 as to if you like them or not, but I quite like them. Supposed to, some people say they're muddy, but I've played this guitar clean, overdriven, and with distortion, and it's cleaned up pretty well. Because this guitar's got those CTS pots and the orange capacitors, so when you roll off the volume, it cleans up. And these pickups aren't really that muddy, quite honestly. This guitar sounds better distortion and clean, but still sounds pretty good clean. I actually think these pickups are pretty good, not as bad as some people make out. And I think the reason this guitar got some negative reviews was just the price. So people are saying the pickups aren't the best, but I think it's because they were asking too much money for this guitar. This guitar should have had Gibson pickups and Switchcraft hardware, to be honest, for the price they wanted. This guitar was £900 when it came out, and that's why I gave it a miss at the time it came out. But I think if this guitar had been like £750, because you have to recognise that Slash has to get a cut because it's a signature model. But even so, I think because the pickups are Epiphone, no Switchcraft, take those things into consideration, I think it should have been about £750, it would have been a better price. But in any case, I'm happy with these pickups. It's not like they're bad, they're not bad. They definitely sound like Slash with it right out the box. There's nothing. Don't have to do a figure. You don't have to fiddle about with settings or like put some amp models on or go and get effect pedals or anything. They sound like Slash right out the box. So I got this guitar for $450, as I say, which is way cheaper, half the price basically of when it came out. So that's a bargain. I was looking, the best price I could find on the internet was about £680, but I just kept looking and looking. Eventually, there was 2 or 3 places at £680. There actually wasn't a lot of places stocked this, but I did find one place. It was the last one they had, so I got it cheaper because it was like they were getting rid of stock, and got it for £450. The pickups, even though they sound good, I am replacing them with Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 Slash signature pickups. Which is exactly the same pickups as Slash uses anyway. So Slash, if anything happens to his pickups, his tech will replace them with these pickups. It's not like Slash is using some special pickup, he's using the same ones that you can buy. The pickups are about £300, but I managed to get them for $230, brand new. So altogether, if you count the money I saved on the guitar, even with replacing the pickups with the proper Slash ones that Slash actually uses, it's coming to £680, which I think is a bargain. However, I would have paid the £700, maybe even $750 for this guitar, and actually just kept the pickups, because I do think they're good. But the only reason I'm getting the Seymour Duncan is because I got the guitar for so cheap that basically, you know, I could get the actual Seymour Duncan Slash pickups and still only spend £680, which was still £220 less than the guitar cost when it came out. So I'm really happy. We'll get as close as we possibly can to the Slash guitar and the Slash tone, given it's an Epiphone. But you know, most of the problem with the Epiphone is that the biggest thing you would need to change on an Epiphone to sound like a Gibson in general even is the pickups, and so that's what we're doing anyway. I do have proper Gibson pickups in my Epiphone guitar mother one, which is a 59, can't remember the full model name, but Epiphone 59 aged. That guitar has got the proper Switchcraft stuff though. So this has got CTS ports and the orange capacitor, so does that, but that's also got Switchcraft, and it has got a bus burker 2 and a bus burker 3 in the neck and the bridge, and therefore that guitar cost about £850 less than this guitar when it came out. And so that guitar is definitely worth every single penny. Also the case for that guitar is slightly better, not much but slightly better. So like I say, if this guitar was £700, £750, given that, you know, you have to give Slash some money, and this guitar's got a nice case with it, not as good as the Epiphone 59 case, but almost identical. With the bonus, you get your little Slash logo and stuff on the back, which on the back of the case, and as I'm going to show you soon, it's also a Slash logo on the back of this guitar when I come to show you the back of it. So all in all, I'm well pleased with this guitar. It's definitely one that I would say you should go and get. Quite honestly, if you can get it for 700 or under, go for it. And like I said, if I got this for 700 or maybe even 750, I'd have probably kept the pickups, because I'm not one for changing pickups. Very rarely do it. And I'm happy enough with these pickups to keep them. It's just because I got a massive saving in this guitar, I'm deciding to get the pickups at all. But I'm looking forward to getting them. I'm not got them yet, but I'm going to be getting them soon. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be doing a video comparing the sound of the stock pickups to the Seymour Duncan ones, the proper Slash ones. And we'll use all sorts of different amps and helixes and all the rest of it, and add some amp models and add some effects. And mainly I'm going to be doing it clean so you can hear the difference between the pickups. So that's the next video, but this video is going to be quite long, so we're just going to concentrate on the guitar and the specs. The only other difference apart from pickups and the switchcraft between this and the Epiphone 59, obviously the Epiphone 59's got 50s wiring, but I don't think Slash had 50s wiring in his original guitar. The only other difference is the pots are not waxed in the Epiphone 59, they're waxed in this. But it doesn't really matter because these pickups are hotter anyway, so that kind of 6.5 a dozen. Usually what happens when you wax a pot in the pickups, it just gets more kind of warmer, rounder, and you lose a little bit of brightness and stuff. But you'll, as I say, you get that back anyway because these pickups are hotter, so anything you lose in one you get back on another. It's probably why they potted them. But there's a story behind these pickups, or at least the Seymour Duncan ones I'm getting, I should say. That story is that when Gibson went to Slash and says you've been using our guitars for a long time now, do you want a signature model, or we would like you to have a signature model? Slash says, yep, not a problem, big man. And they put his old pickups in the signature guitar and it didn't sound the same because his original guitar was a Les Paul copy, it wasn't actually Les Paul. But even if it was a Les Paul, if you change pickups and put them in from one guitar to the other, it's going to slide a bit different anyway. It's going to sound a bit different. So Slash sent these pickups to Seymour Duncan to see if they could alter them. Now, I presume by that, I'm not an expert Slash or Gibson or anything, but I presume that Slash's Les Paul copy that he was using during this period was basically had Seymour Duncan pickups in it, and because of that, instead of asking Gibson to sort the pickups out, he sent them to Seymour Duncan, who used different wire, done an extra round to make them hotter. Don't know if the original Seymour Duncans were waxed or not, but these ones are, and they're using Alnico 2 magnets. So between the two of them, Slash and Seymour Duncan, they got the pickups to sound like the originals. Because, as I say, when they put them in the Gibson guitar that they were making for him, they didn't sound exactly the same. And so, like I said, if they originally were Gibsons in his original Gibson Les Paul copy, he would have just let Gibson try to sort them out. But because he sent them to Seymour Duncan, I'm assuming the original pickups he had were Seymour Duncan as well. And so, yeah, that's the ones I'll be getting. I've not got them yet. That's why I'm going to wait to the next video as well, is because I've not actually received the Seymour Duncan set. And then we'll do the comparisons. But right now, I'm really happy with this guitar. I've nothing bad to say about it, quite honestly. You could turn around and say silly things, like it's not a Gibson, that'd be a silly thing to say. Does they have a switchcraft? Fair enough. But I can always replace those parts, the switch and the jack, with switchcraft brand later on. At not a very big cost. Or I could just leave it. I certainly wouldn't touch the tuners, or there's a graphite nut, when you touch those. This guitar, as I say, is brand new. I actually thought it was too good to be true because it was only £450. And I was checking, double checked, triple checked. that I wasn't getting the second-hand guitar, but it was definitely brand new because it was all sealed up. Nothing was broken, the seals were all there, it was in plastic bags. So yeah, it's the real McCoys, just because that was the last one they had and they were getting rid of the stock, that's all it was. It sounded good, as I said. Now I'm obviously presuming the Seymour Duncan is something a basketball player would do. But I'm presuming the Seymour Duncan pickups, when they come and once I install them, will sound better than these. Will they sound like, 3 times better? Probably not. But they'll sound a bit better. And as I said, that saved so much money that it was worth getting them, I reckon. But I'm happy with these pickups as they are. So if you can get this guitar cheap, or 700 or under, go for it. Just keep the pickups, because they're good enough. I mean, I've got my other Epiphone, but I've had Epiphones in the past, about 15 years ago, but weren't very good. I mean, they were good, okay for a beginner, but not that I'm not a beginner, because I'm a late beginner, but I'm still a beginner. But I certainly want to use those guitars now. 15 years ago and more, the Epiphones had worse hardware, so cheaper hardware they were using, and the tuners never stayed in tune, but it's changed days now. And I certainly think this is probably, I'll go out on a limb and say, these are the best Epiphone pickups Epiphone have made so far. Because you've got your usual Epiphone pickups, which I don't know if they've stocked it all together now, because now they're doing Pro Buckers. I think maybe every Epiphone guitar comes with Pro Bucker now, but this is a custom Pro Bucker. It's obviously custom because they want it to sound like Slash. So overall, this guitar's good. I would recommend it, as I keep saying, not just for the pickups, not just for anything, the guitar in general. It's all it's the right shape, it's mahogany, it's actually not too heavy, which is good. Seymour Duncan, by the way, and make these pickups I'm getting in the same place I've made them since the 80s, which is Santa Barbara, I think, which is California or somewhere. They're hand wound, so I don't know how many sets they make per month or whatever. I guess it won't be the same as a factory would. I mean, they're probably made in a factory, but they're actually hand wound. It's not a machine that does it. So I reckon because it takes longer, they probably don't make as much as a factory would make, even though it's probably made in a factory. It might be made in a workshop, I don't know. I don't think they made the pickups specifically for me, that's for sure. But it just takes longer to hand wound things than the machine to do it. So they're using the same kind of materials as well as they used to. So it's all in-house, and look forward to getting them, quite honestly. Try to ask what I could think of saying. I've talked about the Epiphones that I've had like 15 years ago or more. They were decent enough for the time, but Epiphone has evolved since then. And I just don't, I'm not being one to be a guitar snob anyway. I like value for money, so if I can get a guitar that's punching above its weight, that's really kind of worth 2 times or even 3 times what they're asking for it, that's the ones I tend to go for. So I usually go for a bunch of guitars, but that are punching above their weight, or sometimes well above their weight. And I don't know if this is punching well above its weight, but certainly punching above its weight. And for $450, it was just a no-brainer. I was like, wow, I can't let that go. And if I'd have left that to the morning, I must have paid for this and bought it online about 4 o'clock in the morning. See, if I'd have left it to the morning, there was a good chance that they'd been gone, so I had to go make a snap decision. I wasn't even looking for a Les Paul guitar, but I certainly got one now. So this, as I say, has got the Alnico 2 in it, and so is the other Epiphone. The Epiphone 59, Epiphone 59 outfit, I think you call that guitar. It's got an aged look about it. This is kind of aged as well, because this has got nickel plate instead of the kind of bright plate. This has got a dull nickel plate, which I like, I prefer. Goes well with the cream binding. It's much more my thing. Also, I think this guitar actually looks more colourful than my phone showing. So if you give it a kind of, it's actually coming out lighter on my phone, if you know what I mean. So same with the case. When you come and see the case, when I show you the case, it's actually more, the case is more of a crimson red, but it's coming across more light red pinky on my camera, on my phone. So Just have to bear that in mind. Everything you see is going to be more kind of richer looking in real life. So there you go. I'm going to show you the back of the guitar now. This is the back of the guitar, and this has got the Slash logo on it, as you can see here. That's also on the case. There's a big one of those on the case, and that's the Epiphone Deluxe tuners, which stay in tune really well. So I won't be changing them. Like I said, the only thing, I've bought pickups, obviously, I've mentioned it about 5 times now. The only thing I would even think about changing is the switchcraft. This is all lovely mahogany. Absolutely nothing wrong with all this. Nice. The neck plays really well in this, probably, even though it's gloss, you hardly can tell. So as I was saying, I've also got another Epiphone. I've had Epiphones in the past, but I haven't mentioned my other LP Gibson style guitar, which is a cork guitar. Now I'm not going to get into detail about that because this is not what this video is about. But that's a kind of cheaper guitar as well. I think I got that cork guitar for £350, but it was £450. £450 I got it for £350. Brand new. I just haggled the guy. It wasn't even a sale or anything. It was the only one he had, so I haggled him down to £350. That guitar, the reason I mention it is because it's also a Gibson LP style. So I've got 3 Gibson LP styles, the 2 Epiphones and the cork. The cork one's really well built. I really like it. Sounds sweet, sounds warm. But I was just going to say that that's got the same Alnico 2 as well. So, I've come to kind of think that I actually prefer Alnico 2s. That's kind of where I am. I've got a lot of humbucker guitars that aren't Gibson shaped and don't have any resemblance to Gibson, but I do think I actually prefer Alnico 2s. There's something warm and sweet and round about them that I actually prefer. So that's the reason why I'm actually mentioning the cork guitar. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the case for this particular Slash model, and after that we'll just complete the video with more detailed specs, and that'll be us all wrapped up. So here's the front of the case. This is the Slash logo that's on the back of the guitar. Rather nice. It's a black case. Let's try to zoom out. It's got the Epiphone at the bottom of it. You get the idea. Don't want to move the phone about as much as I can. Try to avoid it because the sound will go and the video will go in and out of focus. There's the locks on the side. There's the handle. So this is the inside of the case, as you can see. Plush, but even the other one's slightly plusher. The 59 Epiphone slightly more plush. And we've got this little bit here where you'll find the things that come with it inside the case. It's inside here. So you've got like truss rod adjuster thingamajig. You've got your Allen keys and so forth. You've got your strap locks in here as well. That if you want to put on, you can put on. Like I say, plush enough. The colour on my phone is actually, just to let you know, the colour on my phone, even though I've got a reasonably good Samsung, it's a lot deeper, the colour. It's like a deep crimson red. It's not showing up as that on my phone, unfortunately. So there's the other side. Like I said, it's a deep crimson red, so you can take that as you will. So the colour's darker and deeper, and therefore when you're looking at the guitar itself, you have to factor that in as well, that the colour's darker and deeper when it comes to the honeyburst. So anyway folks, there you go. Right folks, I'm going to give you a detailed rundown of the specs for this guitar now. I've covered some of them, maybe even half of them already in this video, but I'm actually reading from the sheet. So this is the full detailed specs. The material for the neck is mahogany. It's a Slash custom C-shaped profile, which is basically a 59, not much of a difference. 24.75 inch scale length. Indian laurel for the fingerboard material, 12-inch radius, 22 frets, medium jumbo. Graphtec nut. Paralloid parallelogram. whatever that means. Inlays, blued inset neck, mahogany body with a hard carved maple top and AAA flame maple veneer. One ply cream binding on the top and the fretboard, finishes gloss, although as I say, you don't even notice it. Some guitars the gloss is sticky. Well, it was. Especially on the first Epiphones that came out, like not the first ones, but the first ones I got my hands on. They were sticky, I didn't like playing them, but this one you don't even notice. Finish the hardware is nickel and the tuner plating's nickel as well, which I prefer. It's not shiny and it looks vintagey and it's very nice and it goes with the cream binding. I've said all this before, yada yada yada. The bridge and the tailpiece is locked on. Epiphone Vintage Deluxe tuners, dual action truss rod. 2-ply truss rod cover / autograph is in white. Gold top hat knobs with dial pointers. The switch tip is cream coloured. And the words on the rhythm treble is done in gold hot stamp. So that's nice, it just sticks out. What else can we say about this guitar? It's got the Epiphone strap locks, as I say, that comes in the case. So you have to just put them in yourself. And it's got a custom pro bucker in the neck and the bridge, and CTS potentiometers. It's hard to say. Me. Better just saying pots. And it's got orange drop capacitors, and that's pretty much the full specs like I promised I would give you. Well, I think it's serial is when I come to do my video regarding the sound clips, I'm going to try to use, first off, I'm going to try to use a clean amp for the most part, so you can actually hear the difference between the stock pickups and the Seymour Duncans when I get them. I've not got them yet, I was supposed to get them 3 days ago. And because Royal Mail is a terrible company, or totally useless, there's been problems, as there always is with Royal Mail. And I've not got them yet, so I should have them in the next 40 hours. And then I've obviously got to solder them in. But first I'll be recording the guitar all sorts of ways with the stock pickups. So everything when it's all finished is going to take a good week to 2 weeks to do it before I get the next video up. But it's going to be a long video, longish anyway, and it's going to be lots of sound clips. And when I say sound clips, don't be expecting any Slash stuff, Guns N' Roses, because I actually don't know any. I literally don't know any. Like I said before, and I possibly said, or maybe I should have said, I don't learn, I'm self-taught, so I don't learn in a linear fashion. And I don't go down the usual route other people. I did, however, learn a lot about Slash, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, like everybody does. But I mean, I didn't go through the full, didn't learn it completely, and it was like 12 years ago. And so I don't know what to tell you. I want to know where to start with any Slash songs, any Guns N' Roses songs. I don't know any, so I've not went through the usual route. A lot of people do, you know, Smoke on the Water. I don't know how to play that either. Sure, it's easy enough, but so you won't be getting any Slash tone. You'll be getting Slash tones hopefully, but you won't be getting any Slash stroke Guns N' Roses songs because I don't know any. But I will try to kind of do a kind of rocky, especially when it comes to the kind of overdriven and distorted clips that you'll be hearing. But like I said, don't be expecting Slash. Don't even be expecting a shit version of Slash. There's going to be no version of Slash. But hopefully the pickups will sound like him. I certainly won't, that's for sure. And because Slash plays Marshalls, I'm going to try to go for Marshall type amps. Now, I don't have a Marshall amp because I'm not lucky enough to be that rich, but I do have a Boss Guitar Artist Mark II, which is sort of Marshall. And I've got a Black Star all valve amp head, which is Marshall again. So, yeah, pretty much Marshall tones coming out of those two. I'll also do some clips running through the Helix using amp models, Marshall and Fender. And, you know, I'll be doing my usual clean tones, overdriven and distorted, and adding different effects here and there. But, you know, there's going to be a good percentage of that video based concentrating on amps that are clean, just so you can hear the difference. Otherwise, the more distorted you get, the less difference you can hear, because you can't hear very well. It's all kind of distorted. That's what distorted means. Distorted. Just like my thinking. My thinking is distorted, which means it's not clear. Certainly not clear, and it's not clean either. It's usually dirty, but that's another story. Anyway, that's the next video, like in 2 weeks' time or so. And I'm going to probably run into some problems soldering, because I've not soldered for years. The last time I soldered was 5 years ago, and that was a Strat. And even though humbuckers on the face of it should be a bit easier, because there's only two of them first off, and they seem to have tend to have easier wiring. The last time I'd done a humbuckers and a Gibson soldering was about 12 years ago. So yeah, probably some trial and error and some mistakes. I won't be videoing that because that would just be... I embarrass myself enough without doing it again in a video, trust me. But I'm sure I'll get there in the end, and then we'll get that video out and you can hear the difference. So if you're, you know, if you're looking... Because I found it, I couldn't find any videos on YouTube. I found videos with people putting the slash pickups in guitars, but I couldn't find an actual video where somebody put the slash pickups into the actual slash model for the Epiphone, because that's what I was looking for, and I couldn't even find one. What does that guitar sound like with the proper slash pickups in them? Not interested in what some like a PRS sounds with them in it, or there was guys with videos with PRSs and I've put the Seymour Duncan slash humbuckers in. There was guys with LP copies. I want to know, or even other Epiphones, I want to know what this Epiphone sounds like, you know what I mean? Slash signature model Epiphone, I want to know what that sounds like with the proper slash pickups. And so, if you're one of those people that's got this guitar and wants to know, well, you might want to watch my video. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't care, don't make money anyway. But yeah. That next video probably won't be done on my Samsung phone, because that was a pain in the ass, because every time I move my phone there's an audio glitch. The audio goes in and out, you know, becomes loud and then quiet, and there was kind of clicky noises and all sorts of aberrations happening. My Samsung phone's quite good, but it's quite a good Samsung phone, but you know, it's not up to the standard of if I was using a proper camera that people use for YouTube channels. Of course, this isn't a proper YouTube channel. It's not a guitar channel, as I keep saying. Even though I put guitar videos on it, it's just a channel for me to watch other people, yada, yada, yada. Which is why I'm never going to, but I've said all this before, I'm not going to buy £400, £500 of camera equipment just to film a video that I'm not going to make any money on anyway. Because majority of my videos is covers, and I make zero for them. And the ones that's not covers, getting 12 views is not exactly making me a millionaire. So, and I don't care, because like I say, I'm not in it to be a YouTuber, because I'm not a YouTuber. And I don't want to be either. Just make these videos because I want to, because I feel like it, you know. And the thing is, if anybody gets anything out of them, even if they get a laugh at my expense, good. Spreading some happiness and joy in the world and some laughter, which is always a good thing. But anyway, so I won't be videoing that. And that Samsung, every time you move it, that's why, just to finally finish this very long video, that's why I've actually had to redo. So I've had to put some really good time into this video, because the camera, the Samsung mobile phone audio was ruined basically. I mean, it was good in parts, but other parts it was fading in and out, and then there was these glitches and weird ear shrieking parts where when I moved the phone it would make a right weird noise. Almost as if the guitar was plugged in and I was moving my phone next to it and the magnetic fields were interacting, but the guitar wasn't plugged in, so. But there was some ear screeching bits in it which happened just by me moving the phone. I don't have anything I can actually put the phone on to keep it stationary, but even if I did, I was trying to show you all the different angles and side shots on the guitar and the case, so I had to move it anyway. So even if I had something to keep the camera steady, when you've done for that video, or this video, I don't know if I'm in the past tense of Might actually be a time traveller, who knows? I know I talk a load of shit, everybody knows that. But that video, this video, what does that even mean? Like, I didn't make the video, I'm talking about somebody else's. I'm like having an out of body experience here. But anyway, you know, I'm not wanting to do that too much because I had to get rid of that audio. So I had to actually get rid of the audio in Sony Vegas and re-record it, but I had to make it so that it fitted the same time. And I had to look at the pictures and the video as they changed and then talk about the headstock. Now I'm talking about the neck. Now I'm talking about... And that all had to be like synced with the video. It was a pain in the arse. One thing I do know is my phone, as good as it might be, when you move it about, the audio's shit. There you go. That's one thing we've learned, if nothing else. Don't use your Samsung. The video itself wasn't too bad. It was going in and out of focus, but then that happens to kind of expensive cameras on YouTube anyway, I've seen. But the audio, it wasn't worth keeping. I couldn't keep it. Some of it was good to say, but I just scrapped all of it, re-recorded the whole thing, using OBS and Sony Vegas, and you know, I don't want to be doing that all the time because it's a pain in the ass, time consuming, and you know, I don't like these all that much. Some of you don't like it at all. You know who you are. Anyway, thanks very much, folks, for listening to this video, watching this video, and I'll be back some other time when I feel like it, basically. Thanks again. Bye for now.